In the past, Retro-bit and Renovation Products have teamed up to bring back some of their most popular games to the Sega Genesis and the Sega Mega Drive. They started with Gaires. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. That's one of the things with their shirt. How do you say Gaires? And then most recently, we got the Valis Collection with Valis, Cita Valis, and Valis 3. Well, they are back again, as you can see behind me, with Sol-Deace and with El Viento. I hope I'm pronouncing both of those correctly. Probably murderizing both of them on there. But these are going to be exclusive, limited edition games that are going to be coming to the US and Europe from great retailers such as Spell and Sant in the EU, and then over in here in the US from CastleManiaGames.com. Let's take a deeper look at what each of these games have coming to us. For Sol-Deace, the Collector's Edition, it's going to be $54.99, and in the third millennium, humans launched an advanced artificial intelligence that would unify all the settlements and states. Instead, the machine, known as GCS-WT, becomes a dictator and begins to suppress all of humanity under its control. It seeks to conquer entire worlds with its mechanical fleet across the solar system. Edwin Deese, a brilliant scientist, looks to counter the AI by developing a revolutionary fighter spacecraft, the Sol-Deace. This interstellar war will take pilot Eric Williams through 6 stages, facing off against challenging scenarios and massive spacecraft with the fate of all mankind in the balance. So, what are some of the features on this? Well, you're going to get the Dark Matter cartridge for the Sega Genesis and Sega Mega Drive, a full-color instruction manual, a reversible cartridge inlay sleeve, embellished cartridge slipcover, exclusive double-sided poster, and an individually numbered certificate of authenticity. Now, Sol-Deace is a shoot-'em-up that lives on 2 different console platforms. Early adopters of the Sega CD or the Mega CD in Japan will recognize this as a launch title on the platform, sol-feace. Taking advantage of the CD platform, Wolf Team added in high-quality music and animated cutscenes. It would also become a pack-in game with the console in some regions. Much of the gameplay was influenced by other shooters such as those by Toplan, such as Hellfire. The side-scrolling shooter allows for a variation in ship speed and single-button fire for your weapons. The action is fast-paced, and players may find it difficult the first time you play it. Enemies will surprise you, and bosses require, well, a bit more strategy and patience. Now, Renovation Games are well known for being just beautiful, being very great to play, and also expensive to collect for now. So, for example, for Sol-Deace, a loose version for the Genesis, you're going to see between $30 and $50, complete in box between $70 and $150, and new $90 to over $300. Now, what I love about this too is the fact that Retro-bit and Renovation have worked together to make sure that they have a version of this game that it protects the collectors. Like, there are different things about this cartridge so that you're not going to confuse the original versus the re-release, and if anything, may help support and raise the value of the originals for those who want to go back after getting their hands on the re-release and trying the original. Now, with El Viento, it translates to the wind in Spanish, which refers to the elemental abilities of Annet. They already had Final Zone, which is an action game, and Granada, which is a shoot-'em-up, under their belts before undertaking a project on the Mega CD or the Sega CD, Ernest Evans. This action platformer took inspiration from the popularity of Indiana Jones with its own twist on exploration and mystical arts. It is during the adventures of Ernest Evans that the players encounter a young girl amongst some of the ruins in Peru, Annette Meyer, who joins him. They then encounter a mysterious Siegfried, who seems to know much about the cult of Hastur, but whose motivations are unknown to anyone at the time. Upon completing the title, Wolf Team began development on a prequel that would focus on Annette in the events that took place prior to Ernest Evans, which would become El Viento. Released in 1991, El Viento graced the Japanese Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. Featuring artwork by Kazutoshi Yumane and a soundtrack by Moti Sakuraba, this fast-paced action game, and I apologize if I screwed that up, this fast-paced action game features a young sorceress, Annette Meyer, as she treks from Chicago to New York City in hopes of stopping the summoning of the evil lord Hastur. The cult of Hastur has brought in mob boss Vincent DeMarco to provide the muscle as they look to secure a massive building under construction to perform the summoning ceremony. Annet will have to venture across 8 stages that will take her through the alleyways and slums to factories and massive structures. Master her boomerang and learn powerful elemental spells as you take on a fury of enemies. This isn't the first time Annet has faced Hastur, but she wants to make sure that it is the last and take him down for good. Now, much like what we just talked about with SolDeace, when we are looking at the cost of the original games here, for the Japanese version loose, you're looking $50 to $70, complete $140 to $200, and then new $300 to $450. For the US version, $50 to $100 loose, $130 to $330 for a complete in box, and for new in box, $180 to over $500. I mean, these are expensive games to collect physically if you really want them, and the fact that they have taken the time, the dedication, and the attention to detail to bring these out in a collaborative process the right way, it's really a great thing for both Renovation and for Retro-bit. Now let's take a look at some of the FAQs for both of these. Now, this is a pre-order that's available to order online through retailers in North America and Europe from today, which is June the 27th, 2023, and then the pre-orders were closed on July the 30th, 2023, and then independent retailers that pre-order will also carry limited quantities after it's been released. So you really should pre-order these if you want to, but if you're on the fence, if you've got a local store, you've got a good relationship, they may have a couple open stock available. Now, in North America, CastlemaniaGames.com, I will have a link down below in a pinned comment where you can go ahead and pre-order either of these through there. The nice thing about ordering through Ryan at Castlemania Games is he has a feature called Castle Cash. It's a rewards program where basically the more you spend, the more you earn in rewards. Castle Cash is just like cash. It works on anything and everything on the website. It's a beautiful service that he offers. He also has monthly newsletters and other touch points to other great deals, other Retro-bit products you should definitely go through and check out. They also will be available through limited run games and participating independent video game and collectible stores. Like, for example, my local store here in Champaign, Illinois, Live Action Games, they carry Retro-bit products. He will have a couple of these, I'm sure. And then in Europe, Strictly Limited Games, Dragon Box Shop, and Spellosant will also have them over in the EU. Now, they will both come with an embellished slipcover, reversible inlay sleeves featuring both Japanese and North American box art, full-colored instruction manuals, individually numbered certificates of authenticity, and on that, the numbers for the certificates will be determined based on how many people essentially pre-order. And then you will also have the cartridge for either version of this game, either El Viento or for SolDeace. And like I mentioned with SolDeace, the cartridge is going to look different than what the original ones were. So if you do have the originals, you're not going to lose any value or anything like that. Will there be another reprint? Like all the titles that they offer, it's an open pre-order, limited run release, and once they're gone, they are gone. Will Ernest Evans or Annet Futatabi get a release in the future? At the moment, there aren't any plans for this. However, they are always listening to suggestions. Will it be available for download or on other consoles? So what consoles can play this? Well, the game is compatible with North American Sega Genesis systems, PAL Mega Drive consoles, and most third-party clones that can play Genesis or Mega Drive carts. Now, one of the things on here is due to the shape of the cartridge, it will not work in a Japanese Mega Drive. However, one thing you may want to try is a Game Shark may allow you to go ahead and put this on first. I don't know exactly. Might be something to look into. It is a 5-volt chipset that's on here, so it maintains the correct voltage so that you make sure that you do not damage your system or the cartridge by having something that is not the correct voltage. The pins on the leading edge of the cartridge, they are beveled to go in and out more easily, so that way you don't have excessive wear and tear on your pins. Both of these cartridges are region free, so you can play them PAL or NTSC, and then it will have a multi-regional format essentially that can run at 60 hertz in NTSC for North America or 50 hertz for Europe and in Australia. And then the differences between the originals and these, essentially all the licensing has been updated, new trademark dates, and other than that, no other gameplay has been altered or modified. I love to see, I love the Valis Collection. For me, this is a game I did not get to play back in the day. I now have it in my collection thanks to Renovation and Retro-bit working together, and I get to go through and enjoy the adventure of something I never would have tried before because, it wasn't available to me. Same thing with Gaires, and I really looking at SolDeace. It reminds me of R-Type a little bit. It reminds me of Gaires, that side-scrolling shooter, and it does look tough as nails. I am looking forward to getting my hands on both of these and testing them out. And we do already have confirmation from the team over at Retro-bit. Yes, we will get samples when they do come out, so we can go ahead, do an unboxing review, and we will show you gameplay when they do come out. So what I want to know from you, is this something, A, have you heard of either of these titles, and B, is this something you are interested in? Let me know down in the comments section. Go ahead, comment down below. Let me know too, if you had, if you could wish for any future re-release from Retro-bit, what would it be? Earthworm Jim, Earthworm Jim, Earthworm Jim. I would love to see a new Earthworm Jim. Come on guys, do an Earthworm Jim. There's my wish there. But let me know down in the comments, what are some games that you would like to see them partner with other manufacturers and publishers to go ahead and bring back to any platform, really. Now, we do have a ton of great videos on the Valis Collection, on Gaires, and other re-releases and partnerships that Retro-bit has worked on in the past. If you want to check some of those out, I will have them linked for you right here that you can go ahead and just see some of the other cool stuff so you know what to expect in these two amazing classic re-releases.